Okay, in this video I'm just going to talk about the Cambridge CELTA and is it worth doing a Cambridge CELTA? So you'd like to teach English and you're wondering, should I get a teaching qualification like a Cambridge CELTA or something equivalent? I would say without doubt, absolutely yes, you should. Okay, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Oh, okay, so why should you actually do a Cambridge CELTA? For me, this was a really rewarding part of my life. I think there's a clear difference between when you start the CELTA and when you finish. When I first started my CELTA, the first day I didn't have a clue how to teach. I didn't have a clue what to do if I was in a classroom. And by the end, I was totally carved out of wood along with everyone else on this course. I think the first day I was just observing the class, like I was just watching an experienced teacher and making careful notes. And then the next day, the Tuesday at 9 o'clock, I just taught my first class. I was literally in the classroom with about 16 Hungarian people and I was just teaching. And from there you get this base to work from. So instantly, if you do a CELTA, the first or second day, you just get orientated, you will be teaching. Literally, you have a class, you will be teaching people instantly. If you did a CELTA course online, you might get the pedagogy, you might learn how to set up exercises, you might learn how to manage a classroom in theory, but you won't have the solid practice that doing an actual CELTA with a group of people. So definitely. Also linked to this, you instantly have a network of people. Like when I did my CELTA, I was just thrown into a room. There were Romanian people doing the CELTA, there were Swiss people doing the CELTA, Hungarian people, British people, Scottish, English. There were just so many different types of people and you become solid friends like in the course. It's really stressful, so you stick together, you bond. So you instantly have a network when you come away from this teaching qualification. I stay in touch with these regularly. They're really cool people. Also, you learn about the pedagogy. I thought before I did the CELTA, oh, teaching just involves standing in the front of a classroom with a big voice and you do exercises and like teacher stuff. And I didn't really know what stuff meant, but I really, at the end of my first week, knew how to handle a class instantly. You have a qualified teacher monitoring you, giving you constant feedback. You have your peers, they watch you do lessons and they will give you feedback. You're constantly questioning yourself and evaluating yourself. Could I have done this better? What didn't work? How can I build rapport with students? So instantly, like you're getting feedback from every angle. You're constantly like being given direction with what you're doing and how to become a better teacher. Sure, you probably could get a job without a CELTA. That's a possibility. I was offered jobs without a CELTA, but although I could have taught a class without a CELTA in theory, although I actually could have been paid for doing classes in theory, I don't think you're necessarily a good teacher just because you're being paid for a teaching job. The CELTA will really give you the capabilities and the professional edge and added value to help you teach. I actually still have my teaching notes from my CELTA. These were like a booklet that was given to me. This was full of fantastic information. This was my timetable, talking about what is teaching practice, pedagogical method, how to do lesson plans, how to plan a lesson, and feedback, language analysis, observation tasks. We were also given written work. What was great about actually being in a CELTA group in Budapest was the fact that you actually had people you could relate to and talk to constantly if you had any doubt. You had the team leaders who would guide the groups of people. You actually had colleagues and people you could work with and get ideas from to bounce from. And if you weren't sure, you could just talk to your friends, you could just kind of plan lessons or get ideas, and you generally learn how to put lessons together. What are the costs of a CELTA? I think your cheapest CELTA from your options would be something around 900 euros, 1,000 euros, like £800 if you're British. That's a lot of money, and you also have to think about accommodation and where you're living while you do your CELTA. Normally this could be offered by the school you're going to do the CELTA. Like maybe you could organize something yourself, but factor that in for 1 month. Just 1 month of your life you have to dedicate to this course. But trust me, it's all worth it. So, can I survive as an English teacher? Will I actually make enough money to live? Or will I just be in poverty, like eating scraps of bread, not being able to afford my rent, and I'm just lost in a foreign country not speaking the language? Good question. I think if you're careful and you choose a good job, you get a contract somewhere in a school maybe, I think you could definitely have a kind of middle-class lifestyle. I think in France, for example, the average hourly pay would be about 25 euros an hour, 30 euros an hour. That's about the standard. So if you do 20 teaching hours per week, that would be enough definitely to cover your rent, your food, and just basic hobbies and whatever you do in your spare time. This would be a relatively comfortable lifestyle. You could do this pretty much anywhere. The same goes for Hungary. You won't have savings, for example, if you go to Poland or Hungary or Russia. You won't really rack up a huge amount of savings to take back home. But as far as a lifestyle goes, I think you could be fairly comfortable. You could network, you could make friends, you could have a lot of fun, as well as just continuing your career and developing. So yeah, definitely, if you find the work, it shouldn't be a problem. English is actually in very high demand. You think of all these countries in Europe, you think of Mexico, Brazil, Latin America, Russia, Asia. People really want to learn English. It surprises me there's such a problem with unemployment. Like in Britain, there's unemployment generally in the US or wherever, and places are crying out for English teachers. My current job in France, which I'm going to leave soon, there are no English teachers. Like, there are more administrators and project leaders than English teachers, especially for native speakers. Half the people are French people who speak English as a second language. That's not a problem, but if you are a native teacher, you have a world of opportunity. And a CELTA could just be the thing to open up these opportunities for you. So after 4 or 5 years of university, I actually think I learned more in 1 month doing a CELTA than any of the academic things I'd learned in university. I think the CELTA really made a difference because it was hands-on experience. It was really intense. I can't stress enough, this will be stressful. You will really freak out. I had, out of 14 or so people on my course, 3 got really sick. 1 even went to hospital because it was so stressful. So this is a really intense course, but you sink or swim, and almost everybody swims. You just get on with it. It's a crazy time, but it's so rewarding at the same time. So yeah, I would definitely recommend doing a CELTA in terms of networking, guidance, professionalism, continued learning. You could just directly ask questions to people about what you can do with the CELTA, where you can go. With a CELTA, you can go anywhere in the world. It looks fantastic on your CV. You could go and teach in France, like I've done, Germany. I know people teaching in Germany. I know people teaching in Switzerland. I know people teaching in Romania, Russia. Soon I'll be going to South Korea. You can just up and leave. This is the kind of profession where you can just move and continue developing. You don't like general English, try business English. You don't like business English, like try young learners. You can just change whatever you're doing. If you like just general English, you can try different schools. You have a lot of options and you can really become your own boss. So it might be a little expensive to get started. You will have to take 1 month out of your life and just stop everything. It can be very stressful, but the rewards overall of doing a CELTA are just incredible. Of course, you don't necessarily need one for a lot of jobs, although a lot of jobs do require a CELTA as like a basic requirement, usually a degree or an English major or something like a CELTA, just to show you're not just totally some homeless person trying to just get a job for a year. But yeah, I think I would strongly recommend the CELTA. Think about where you would like to do this. You have the opportunity to go to Poland. Maybe you could do this in Budapest. I would recommend this. These are some of the cheapest. You could even just do a CELTA in like France, Spain, wherever takes your fancy. You have a lot of options. So I hope this gives you some encouragement. This could help you on your path to becoming an English teacher. I really have loved my job, and the CELTA was the key to opening up this world of teaching for me. It really gives you the freedom, and I would definitely recommend it. Thanks.